I am Iron Man.
Hello there.
Avengers!
So Miss Marvel episode 2, it's so funny. I think I came away with like two big things, and the first of which being Marvel related. Like they gave her new powers, which I like the powers a lot actually.
Yeah.
But they are dunking on the stretchy powers. Whenever she uses them,
it's the arm thing or yeah. That's what I was that's what I noticed too. Like they're trying to go for like she got her powers like Captain Marvel, like through some cosmic energy.
Right.
Like I feel like they're definitely trying to do. They might introduce like the Inhumans through this too. You never know, because isn't she an Inhuman?
They kind of
because like
they kind of hinted at that with the whole. So first of all, he gives zero explanation as to why he can figure this out, but he just pulls up an iPad and is like, the power is coming from within you.
Oh yeah, like, there's no like he didn't like do a body scan or anything.
What is he got, an X-ray machine on his iPad? Like,
yeah.
But no, yeah. So the fact that he's like the gauntlet or whatever, the brace, whatever it is, he's like, it just kind of releases your powers or whatever. So to me, that does kind of feel like
Inhuman.
They might not use the word Inhumans, but it's like, oh, like again, the thing I talked about last week, which was, it is her power. It's not a thing.
It's not something like a Mike situation where he needed the shoes to the ball like Jordan.
Right. And I like that they established that. Yeah. I'm surprised they established it already in such a throwaway comment.
It was a very like it was like in a montage, like, oh hey, look, the powers are coming from inside you. Oh, it's not the bangle after all. All right, next scene. It's like
and it was such a I actually liked that montage a lot. I thought it was a fun little like I actually wrote that. I was like, kind of like
it was a fun little
Amazing Spider-Man 1. Like, he gets a little like montage power sequence thing going. But yeah, I just thought it was bizarre in that montage. He just throw away like, "Yep, power's inside you, just helping you out." Like, okay, sure. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, which, and again, these two broad things to keep talking about, but the other thing I wanted to mention, which I feel silly not thinking about this before, but I feel like we are two very not political people in very many aspects, all.
Yeah, no.
And this show is about to get real political, apparently.
Yeah. Yep.
I really appreciate seeing her family, like seeing her religion, like the Muslim like side that I have no idea anything like about, right? Mm-hmm. I thought that's cool. It's a fun little aspect. That I'm all for. I'm not against anything in the show. Let's just throw that out.
We're not trying to cancel ourselves here.
But no, what I was surprised about, especially in a show so younger generation focused, was the racy stuff with the interrogation scene of
Holly,
the popular white
popular girl. Yeah, the girl, like the lady,
the YouTuber that got hit by the hammer.
Yeah. No, I mean the agent, like the woman agent. She was like, ugh.
Yeah, she was.
The FBI's.
I don't think I've ever used this term correctly before, but I believe she was gaslighting her. Like,
yeah, I think so.
She was just like, oh, tell me what building am I going after? What race is like?
Yeah,
it was like, oh my god, like,
Asian, and that South Asian Pacific Islander.
I was so uncomfortable. But the thing, like, look, Disney's known for going like places people aren't comfortable with lately sometimes, and I can appreciate that people do actually go through those situations.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was not expecting that.
I guess, like we're saying, this show definitely isn't our demographic, and like that whole demographic is very, you know, political correctness, social justice, like all that type of stuff. So I feel like that was them just kind of slipping it in there. Like, this is what, you know, this, you know, religion goes through day to day when they get, you know what I mean? When they get when they get interrogated about, you know, so, cause she was literally like, cause it was that interrogation scene when she was like, well, the FBI has been surveilling mosques since 9/11 or something like that. And I was like, oh shit. Like,
yeah. And that's what, like,
that's crazy. They brought that up in a Marvel show.
I know. And in the same episode, dude, this show last week, they dropped cocaine in the episode.
Yeah. Now
they name drop cocaine.
Now they're dropping off racial profiling. Like,
in this episode, racial profiling and underage drinking at that party. Like,
oh yeah.
What happened to Disney, man?
This was the first. That's what I think it was one of my notes I put in. I was like, this was the first high school party in like a Disney-esque show that wasn't like kids just drinking soda.
No,
like, it's always like
vodka.
It's always like, hey, you want some root beer? Like, it's never like, you know, but they actually showed them drinking like actual booze.
And then the scrawniest skinny kid does a front flip into a pool ever.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that was so funny. He's coming out of the pool, and I've never felt so old because I'm looking at this. I'm like, that they have the, like, again, the editing that I like, the like animation stuff that's going all around him and all that Kamala's like daydreaming and whatnot. And I'm just sitting there like, ugh, this is so weird. Yeah, this is so gross.
The whole time I put in my notes the whole time because like he's being really like chummy with her for like no apparent reason, like the whole episode. And the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm like, pretty sure he's a plant. I'm pretty sure he's being paid to do this. Like not to be a dick, you know, but I was like, she's not one of the popular girls. So like, especially in high school, everybody's shallow. Like, not everybody, but most high schoolers.
Yes, they are.
Most high schoolers are shallow. I take that back. And I was like, I have a feeling he's probably a plant and like, you know, just doing that to get her to trust him.
That's so funny, Brendan, because we've talked about this, but I have zero ideas on where this show is going to go. Absolutely zero ideas. So I didn't think anything of that. And when that twist in the end of the episode happens, I was actually shocked. I was like, holy shit.
I was sitting there. I was like, I knew it.
He honeypotted her.
Yeah. But no, the whole time I was like, this just feels like a setup. Like, it feels like he was being too chummy too fast. Mm-hmm. Like, they had just met and he was like, oh, here's my phone number, here's this, here's that, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, let's pump the brakes. Stage 5 clinger
made me skeptical was letting her drive his car.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, if I was that well off with a car at 16, I don't think any girl could have got me to give her my keys.
No, like anybody in general.
My Ford Escort wagon I had when I was actually 16, go right ahead.
Go, yeah.
A Camaro or Lamborghini or whatever the heck he was driving. No, you're not. You're lucky to sit in the car.
Well, the one thing that I liked, I loved that for, you know, going through the episode, I loved the beginning of the episode when she's like walking through the hallway with like this newfound confidence type thing. Like, it almost had like a Spider-Man 3 type feeling where she's like, hey, how you doing? Oh, like, you know,
like how nothing's actually changed but her mindset. And that's like, it's so, I think that's so funny. I totally agree. Get that Spider-Man 3 vibes.
I was waiting for it to like cut and then like her be still standing at the entrance and then start walking. Like, I thought that was just all in her head. Like, her like high-fiving people and hey, how you doing? Oh, and like pushing people out of the lockers, like out of the way of her locker. But then it like continued going and I was like, oh shit, like that actually happened.
I will say, I don't like have a, like, this isn't a calling it kind of thing, but like, I do get the vibes that something, if not some things we've seen, could end up being fake. Like, I don't like with the daydreaming aspect of Kamala, like I could really see something not happening.
And it just being played out like it is happening, but it really doesn't.
Right. And
yeah, like, I could see that with that scene.
Hell, I could even see somehow like them twisting it so that at the end of the show, you realize she does have the stretchy powers and she's been imagining the light powers. Like, I don't think that's actually going to happen, but that's kind of the thing. I feel like a twist like that could be coming.
Yeah. Well, I saw something online that they're like, they don't think that, like, fans don't think that this cosmic energy thing coming out of her is the final form of her powers. It's just like it's just like the initial, like, she's figuring out how to use them.
I definitely, but I do, like, I know I just joked about like her ending up having the stretching powers, but like, I do really think she'll still have some kind of cosmic energy. I could see it developing differently by the show. That would be really neat. Because then you have a full
like
new
if it's
look
just
by
if
the end
it's
of the
just
show.
Internal and like she can actually do everything, but it looks like it's not the purple like rocks all over or whatever it is, the glowy shit.
I thought it was so funny how she got the idea by watching her friend play Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah,
like that's he's playing Crash Bandicoot on his phone, and she's like, "Oh, I can do that." And poof, islands.
That was such a weird. And he was playing it on his phone, but didn't he have like one of those controller things too, like for his phone? Like, who the fuck uses that?
He had a whole like phone, dude. I'm pretty sure that's what a lot of kids now have.
Really?
Like, instead of a console, they just have a controller for their phone to play games on.
That feels weird.
It does. Like that. Yeah. I actually, I'll admit, I got one once because you can stream a lot of like things onto your, like, so I could stream my PlayStation screen to my phone and then play like my PlayStation on it.
Oh shit.
But they're horrible. So
I was gonna say, I can imagine that's
but like, if you're 14 and that's the main way you play video games, like, yeah.
I was just looking at my notes here. Just funny looking at it. Just how fast that scene was when he explained the like power coming in from inside her. I just put, well, the bangle question was answered.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, they just straight up were like, the bangle is useless. Like,
I have a feeling probably the next episode or the next two episodes will probably dig deeper into that, but I feel like they could have waited to introduce that until they do like the big, you know what I mean? Like,
that's what I think the bangle is essentially just a heirloom, right?
Yeah.
And whether the heirloom actually woke her powers or what, I don't know. Sure, why not? But my thought process is like in agreement with yours that the comment being a throwaway comment of the powers inside you, like, that just felt so like
it was rushed. Rushed. And
don't forced. Let them think it's the bangle day one kind of a thing. And it just felt unnecessary. Like, I'd rather find out. Like, have that be part of your. I said it last week. Have that be part of your story. That at some point you're like, oh, the power's inside of you all along. You don't need the bangle. Like, this isn't news. I'm not writing like a new idea here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thought it was interesting twist to just be like, nah, frick it. Like, just.
I was reading, or I was like, one of the breakdown channels I watched, they were talking about how, I guess it's like what, her great grandma or something that the bangle, or her grandma or great grandma or something that the bangle's from.
So the bangle is her grandma gave it to her, but I'm pretty sure it's from
like down
on that. Yeah,
gotcha. That they think that relative is an inhuman, and then just pass down that sort of gene, or not an inhuman. Maybe they're, I don't know, whatever they're gonna classify it as. But
I mean, that's an interesting idea, and I don't dislike it. I am so curious. Like, that's the thing that has me actually hooked. Like, I am kind of hooked right now. Is I'm really curious what the heritage or the storyline of Kamala's past or Kamala's family's past. Like, because like obviously to do with her powers.
The mom has some sort of knowledge of the powers and of the, because of the whole her not wanting to get the bangle in the beginning of the show, and like that story the dad told.
Yes, the train story.
About the train. Yeah.
And it, like, really good. And again, just to bring this back up from last week, I just love her family.
Oh yeah, they're perfect.
Love her family.
And I'll bring it up after we talk about this. But another thing about her family. But yeah, like her, like that whole scene was just perfect. How they kept like it was a story they've heard a million times, and they just keep Oh, and then this happened. Oh, Kamala, you take this part. Like,
I feel like we've been around each other's family when someone in the family like finishes someone else's sentence like that. Like it's something we both relate to. And that was really like, again, it's cute. It's nice seeing these like heartwarming family situations. Like I'm glad that the end of episode 1, like the discourse between the mom and Kamala, like I'm glad that didn't like it wasn't going to be a season long rift, right? They're already okay. Like
just kind of brushed it off.
Like I'm glad it really is a good situation, and I really enjoy the family dynamic. But yeah, with the story, I'm just so curious. I think it's really interesting. I think it's a really interesting gimmick. Part of me was going back and forth. We keep saying Inhumans because that's what she is in the comics, but what if they pull mutants on us?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they either do Inhumans or they do mutants, and that's how they kind of introduce the mutant gene to the MCU, and then in later properties introduce the X-Men.
It would not shock me because like
we got to tease at both of them in Doctor Strange. I mean, we got to tease at Inhumans and we got to tease at mutants. So
can we quick pause on like the fact that not only tomorrow do we get a new episode of Miss Marvel, of course.
Yes.
Obi-Wan Kenobi finale. So pumped. And then just to like top it off.
And doesn't Multiverse come out?
Multiverse of Madness drops on
Disney Plus tomorrow. Nice.
Tomorrow's a great day.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be up till like 3 a.m. now.
Dude, I want to stay up for the Obi-Wan Kenobi finale so badly tonight.
Oh, tonight, yeah.
There's no way I could pull it off.
I want to watch it tomorrow, but I always want to watch it on like my TV. I don't want to watch it like I usually put my iPad up like during work, and I'll throw on something like
you throw on
something in the background like Clone Wars or The Office or something like that.
A lot of workaholics over there.
But I was like I want to watch it, but I want to watch it on the big screen.
Yeah, and especially the finale, dude. Like that's gonna be where it's at.
Yeah. And I think you were right. It is gonna be like 90 minutes.
I didn't. I forgot that I texted you. I haven't even looked at anything. I do whatever happens tomorrow happens. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about it.
I'm pumped.
Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay, we could literally go another 20 minutes hyping up Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know anything else on the heritage part because, like, again, I could keep going on that just on my curiosity. And another thing, like with it being possibly mutants, I could see that being that somehow they were able to contain the X gene within the family, but not let it show, kind of a thing.
Yeah,
and that's what like the bangle helped the X gene like come out.
Yeah.
And again, I could say the same thing for Inhumans. Inhumans, their whole shtick was that like a rock activates their powers, like an alien rock or something like that. So like you could argue that the rock is in the bangle. Like I could see it going either way.
Yeah, I mean they could just combine it somehow and just like that way they introduce the mutant gene and the inhuman gene to because I mean that the boyfriend, quote unquote, the guy that basically kidnaps her at the end.
Kamran.
He's obviously he's definitely either like an inhuman or mutant. He's got some sort of because I was the breakdown video I was watching. There's a Cameron character in the Miss Marvel comics, and he has some sort. He's like I think he's an inhuman. I think he almost has like Iceman powers type thing. So
it'd be very interesting to see what they're gonna do. And I have no clue. And I liked that. Well, I don't want to jump ahead, but I was just gonna say like regarding the ending, like I liked I already forgot what they were called. Damage control. I like the damage control chase. Thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah. She like platformed over them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was cool. It was a good use of her powers. I thought it was neat. Like again, she did a good demonstration of showing how she had practiced using the platforms, but anything other than that, she wasn't ready to do the hand grab thing.
Yeah, no. I mean, that was like that whole scene of when she saved the kid off, like when he was falling off the mosque. Yeah. And then that was pretty like devastating. Like, oh shit, I'm not prepared for this at all. Like she was not prepared for it at all.
No, and that's what it was kind of it was scary, but like I think it was a well-written scene. The thing I will will pick at, though, I will nitpick this a little bit. She had enough time to run up the mosque stairs somewhere to get on the roof, but none of the adults had the thought to also run upstairs.
Yeah, exactly,
to
right?
To him.
Yeah, like they were just like, oh, let's just stand on the ground and hopefully he doesn't fall or whatever.
See, the funny thing about that, like MCU versus Star Wars, is like, that's just something you laugh about with Marvel, right? Like, no, of course not. They're all just standing there like idiots. Yeah. So the superhero has to go get them. Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. I thought it was great. I also, I do really like the friends. What's their name? I have here. She called her Nox. I think her name's Nakia. Nakia and Bruno. I really like her friends. Yeah. They're just goofy. I like Nakia running for mosque board membership at 15 or whatever. Good for her. I mean, good luck with that.
Yeah.
You're running up against, and we're not even doing, like, I get they're doing the sexist thing, but we're also talking about an adult versus a literal child.
Yeah. This is an adult versus a teenager. Like, oh, that's funny. What were we saying about? Oh, the friend. I do like the I had it in my notes here. I'm trying to find it.
I was just also gonna say how it was kind of interesting. Speaking of Nakia, again, the mosque. Never seen the inside of a mosque before.
No,
so it was an interesting scene for me. I'm gonna assume that it's accurate too, and that they really do have the gender boundary thing. So that's very weird.
That was a different
like just something I've never
never witnessed before. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But go Nakia, go break down the wall. Oh, literally.
Oh no, that's what I said. The Bruno's the friend, like the nerdy friend, like
the nerdy friend, correct.
Yep. I put like when they introduced Cameron, usually like I kind of had a feeling he was gonna be like an ally to Kamala, because usually when they introduce the hot guy that the girl likes, that the guy is jealous over, like the friend is jealous over, he's usually a dick. Like usually the hot guy is usually like a dickhead to the to like the friend, but he was like super nice and everything.
He was,
and I was like, oh, I like this guy. Like I don't like.
Usually, I actually noted that too.
Movies like that, I'm like, or like movies and shows that introduce like the cool guy. I'm like, oh, he's a jerk, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, I like him. He's pretty cool.
Like Bruno had the typical jealous reaction because we all know he's crushing hard on Kamala. But Kamran is a cool guy. I was like, oh, he's actually being nice to Bruno. I think he called him the wrong name once, but like other than that, like, I mean.
He just met them.
Right, exactly. He just met him. He's focused on this girl that we think likes, no, I thought it was, my point is I also liked him when I saw it, because I was like, oh yeah, he's being nice. I still like our idea that Bruno could somehow be a villain. I don't know if that'll happen. We got a little more backstory. He's desperate to go to school in California and needed the scholarship to do it. Just saying we could happen. All you need is a little dark push here.
You see a little push, Bruno. Turning into not Taskmaster. What's
MODOK by the end of this?
Yeah, that's what. Yep. I loved the scene when she comes home after that date, or not after the date, but after they like hang out at the party, and she's like singing the song, and like in the first episode when she has that like vision of them singing at the table, like singing that she's the greatest person in the world. They're all sort of doing it, like the mom, like the whole family. This time it's just her. She like walks to the fridge and is like, yeah, it was good, and then keeps singing again. Like I was like, she's just in her own world. And
her daydream sequences are just so fun. And that's what, like, I forget if we talked about this, but like I know I heard someone say, oh, just ripped off my headphones, hold on 1 second. But I know I heard someone say that they compared her daydreaming sequences to the main character's daydreaming sequences in Mitchell's versus the Machines. And I think that's pretty accurate comparison. And I really enjoy that movie as well. So it's cool and fun seeing them in the real live action. I think Disney Plus is nailing it, of course. And I her little dance, and she's just happy. She's such a happy character, and I love it.
Yeah, no, I definitely am liking the direction of this show, like the creative direction of this show.
So like speaking of, who's gonna die? Someone's gonna ruin our life.
Yeah. That's. I'm gonna guess one of the parents.
It can't be the dad. I think her relationship with her dad is pivotal.
Yeah.
Especially, you know why I'm saying that? I actually didn't even realize that till just this thought. But I'm saying that because of the video game. That's what she only has like this relationship with her dad. I could totally see the mom being like an Uncle Ben kind of scenario.
Yep.
You know, they disagreed,
but
they looked up. She disagreed with her mom, but Kamala looks up to her mom. So, you know, something bad happens to her mom, and then boom, with great power comes great responsibilty. You swing into action and power light powers or whatever they're called activate.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally see it. My biggest question, I mean, we've pretty much, do you want to just talk about like around the end, like theories about the ending?
Yeah.
My biggest question is the woman that was in the car at the end. Mm-hmm. I think that's her great ancestor that passed down that bangle. But I think it's like her spiritual form embodying someone that like her doppelganger. You know what I mean? Like someone that looks like her on the earth right now.
Oh, okay. So you think she's kind of possessing someone? Am I getting that right?
Sort of. Maybe not possessing, but
not like in an evil possession way.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like, hey, Brendan, you can come take over my body to send a message to someone. Sure, why not?
Yeah, that's because I was like, because she had that like vision thing.
Yeah.
When she dropped the kid, which was terrible.
Wow.
Because that was the same woman, like the same actress.
Yes. Okay.
So I was like, I'm thinking either that or maybe she's just superhuman and doesn't age.
That's what I don't know. I definitely think she is the ancient relative somehow, whether it's actually her, whether it's a possession of her. That's a great idea. I could see them pulling some shit like she's an Eternal and they somehow like mixed bread with humans, maybe.
Could be, yeah. I mean,
maybe that's the start of the Inhumans.
This series could be the way they kind of tie in the Eternals with the rest of the MCU.
If that happens, I fucking called it.
And if they do mix them, like if they do not mix them, if they do intertwine them, they better show that freaking celestial coming out of the earth at some point in the they got to show it. They got to show it in some sort of MCU property. I mean, that thing is massive coming out of the ocean. Like,
I mean, it's just over there with Antarctica. Do we ever see Antarctica? I mean, come on, what do we need to see it for? No, I'm just kidding. I absolutely agree.
Like, at least even if they're just like, if it's on the TV in the background, like of a news footage, like
I can't believe we haven't seen that.
Like, I know, right? Like
Mountain Hand's still there.
Yeah, like it's literally, you can definitely see it from Earth's atmosphere in space. You know what I mean? Like that's how big that thing is.
Do you like, I think we're definitely, I'm older by saying, breaking the internet, but do you think MCU people would break the internet once that happens? How many times do you think someone Google Earth?
I know, right?
Hand,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Like,
yep.
Like, I've got to see the hand thing. Zoom in.
The thing I always laugh at is these people, like the people that live on this earth and like the MCU are probably just sick and tired of like all this destruction and like just stop making superhero like New York got destroyed about 20 times during phase 1 through 4. Sokovia, all these places, they're probably like, Jesus Christ, enough with this superhero stuff already.
It's one of my favorite panels, and unfortunately I can't, it's one of my favorite panels. I don't remember what comic it was from, but one of my favorite panels I've ever read was like the start of a comic. I almost want to say it was Avengers vs. X-Men, but it was like the first issue of a comic. It was one of the starting pages. Some big something happens in New York City that causes some big explosion and some building wall is coming down, right? Or something like that. And I want to say it's like Spider-Man or someone swings in, webs the like wall of safety, but webs the people also to safety, so they're also stuck.
Yeah.
And one of them like has a speech bubble, and they say something along the lines of like, why am I still living in New York?
I know, like at that point, I feel like New York would just be empty. Like all the major cities would just be like empty at that point. Like we got it.
It's just one of the greatest
back. Like
it's one of the greatest bits, right? Like, people are still there. I don't know why, but they are.
That's like the cartoon. There's like a not a political cartoon, but that sort of like cartoon-esque thing, like just the one panel thing,
just paper cartoon.
It was of a guy cleaning up Spider-Man's webs. Like he's like, this guy can't clean them up himself. Like,
guy does one thing and it messes up my whole day.
Exactly. But yeah, no, this series is definitely going in a direction that I'm happy it's going.
Yes. My episode 2, I don't think there was anything groundbreaking.
No,
but at the same time, it did pique my interest.
Yeah.
And it did it just in time so that when Obi-Wan Kenobi ends, I'm gonna be like, oh, and we still got this. Yeah, it's not gonna be one of those like, okay, I guess I'll start watching Miss Marvel now. It's like, no, like, okay, well, I got Miss Marvel now.
That's how I felt when they announced Miss Marvel. I was kind of like, I don't really care, but I'm starting to care now. Like the show's like the second episode definitely got me hooked into watching it.
Exactly, and I think like the timing actually was better than I would have predicted, because instead of being like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll catch up on Miss Marvel. It's like, oh no, there's only been 2 episodes, so if you've missed it, you can quick catch up, or just jump in. Like it's I don't know. I think they did a good job. I think it sounded stupid when we all thought about it, but then like at the moment, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I was kind of confused too that Disney was releasing Miss Marvel and Obi-Wan at the same time. Like I know there was 3 episodes of Obi-Wan before the first episode of Miss Marvel.
Yes. Yeah. Episode 1 of Marvel was episode 4 of Obi-Wan.
Okay. But because I remember when you said that Miss Marvel was coming out like the next day, I was like, what the hell? Like, why are they releasing them both at the same time? But I mean, I guess it makes sense because
the one thing I'll argue is Disney. Why is Miss Marvel before Obi-Wan Kenobi in the banner? Like, get co-releasing them, but let's get real.
Everyone who's coming to Disney Plus, let's watch Obi-Wan.
We're watching Obi-Wan. Then if you watch Miss Marvel before Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're a psycho.
I mean, the only thing I can understand is if you don't like Star Wars, but even then you're a psycho if you don't like Star Wars.
Agreed. Yeah. Yep. You are inhuman. That was an accident. Well, I'll stand by it. All right. Thanks everyone again for listening to Stars and Marvels.
Hey.
We got a couple of new subscribers, so thank you for subscribing if you did.
Thank you.
Feel free to tell people to get a couple more. Let's keep the ball rolling. This is great. Thanks again for listening.
Yep.